But it is good to know that y'all have the same parking problems I have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to ride it out about a month, I'd say, and then
Yeah.
Then no one won't be in class anymore.
they'll stop coming to
Right.
class. The drop ads will kick in.
Yep.
I was gonna say, I don't remember it being this bad last year, but I was like, how much of it was remote? Like, it was
All
making
of
me
it
feel
was
like,
remote, yeah.
geez, I thought
Yeah.
like there was still a good number of people in person, but
Yeah.
clearly not.
Yeah. Yeah, my freshman year, it was pretty bad. But
Yeah.
I didn't have a car, thank the Lord.
We're good.
Freaked it out.
Coach,
We
I
have
guess,
Caitlin Dugan, sorry, and Tony Grayson and Reagan Cooper, since I don't have any time.
Coach, I guess just going on the road first time, I guess what kind of litmus test are you kind of expecting for your girls this weekend, especially with Tennessee and NC State along with East Tennessee State, of course.
Yeah, it's a pretty big weekend and competitive. We scheduled tough intentionally, and so yeah, we're going to find out pretty quick where we're at and where we need to go. But we're happy so far.
In terms of going on the road, what can you kind of learn from a team? I know there's always a team bonding experience, but I guess what are some other things you kind of learn just playing on the road without, I guess, home fans, I guess, in front of you?
Yeah, every team is a little bit different on the road versus home, and you're looking for a team that can really play their best in anybody's gym, and then just handle that first road trip and not let any distractions sink in or whatever. And so, there's some other stuff going on with it being Alex's hometown, and we're excited to do that for her. But like we said, this is an important weekend, so yeah, we got to play good volleyball.
Caitlin, I know obviously last week you guys had a road trip. This would be the first official road trip. But what did you feel y'all took away from that game against New Mexico State?
We talked about finding our identity as a team. We are no longer going to be the underdogs. We are going to be the big girls in the gym. So I think definitely just figuring out who we are with all the new people here.
Reagan, with kind of being one of the veterans now and kind of growing into this team, how have you kind of seen that new identity kind of build, especially with y'all kind of being the underdogs and obviously kind of learning that you can be in the top half of this Big 12 conference and all those things?
Yeah, we've definitely been working on what we want to be as a program and how we want other people to see us. We don't want people to see us as the underdogs, as like the easy team to beat, and that's our main goal this year, is to be the team that people fear and that people get on the court and they're kind of iffy about, oh, will we win this game? It's not going to be this is the team that we don't really have that many worries about. And so we just want to build a really strong reputation, and I feel like we have a good team this year to do that.
What did you guys learn from, this first exhibition?
Oh, we're looking at different lineups. We're looking at chemistry. We're looking at relationships at work and what doesn't. And it's one thing for us to see in practice and have ideas about what our best lineups might be, but until you really see it against another team and they start to, pick you apart, or it works or it doesn't work, and then you kind of have to rethink it. So, we went in and played 5 different lineups against New Mexico State, and I felt pretty good about most of them. And so, yeah, that's what I think it was successful in that way.
Obviously, you guys dropped that first set, and then it seemed like the rest of them kind of created that separation for you guys. Was it just a matter of, sort of hitting your stride, so to say?
Yeah, there were some nerves. There was a little anxiety, especially with some of our newer players. Everybody wants to get in that first time and just kind of prove themselves, show off a little bit, and make that statement. And sometimes it doesn't always go according to plan. And so, we were a little high error in the first set, and then we kind of calmed down, and then we were in good shape.
What does it mean to you guys, that any of you guys can answer this, just to have, a bit more of a normal season this year?
I mean, coming from freshman year, having it be normal, it's never existed, then transitioning into sophomore year, having a tough year with people being out and everything, and finally coming back, and that's not as big of a worry anymore. That's really exciting, and I feel like as a team, we are prepared for this to be like our best season yet for the program. So we're all super excited to get back to some feeling of normal,
Coach, I guess could you, I don't know if y'all have already gone through film on some of the teams, but I guess if you could just provide like a general size, speed, or anything like that?
Yeah, I think as we go through the whole season, the general consensus is going to be there's always experience because nobody really lost anybody from a year ago, right? So everybody's a year older. The transfer portal is kicked in, and there's new faces on everybody's roster. But by and large, we're dealing with experienced teams that know their systems, and so those are the challenges, you know. So it's really, you know, trying to figure out what they like to do, and then when they do have some new players in place, it's, you know, rely on what the system scouting report says until you get to see them firsthand. But you know, we're really trying to put all of our focus right now on East Tennessee. You know, that's the biggest thing, and you know, we got to take care of that first match before we get into the other ones. But we got some ideas about what we think we might see, but right now all of our training is on East Tennessee.
With all that said, do you kind of feel like this year, more than others, it's a little bit more geared toward not making mistakes? Because like you said, there's experience. They kind of already know the system, and now it's a matter of you all just kind of taking care of what you all know at this point and not making mistakes and providing other points for the other team.
Yeah, I think so. The execution piece is really important. And, you know, the one thing about our team last year, we were really low error. And so, and we think we've added to our offense quite a bit. So, you know, as our first touch gets better, we're working on being a lot faster with our offense this season. And when we really get it all on the same page and it's really where we need it to be, it's going to look pretty good. And so, you know, that piece of it I feel like is important. Yeah, the execution thing is really going to be the difference maker.
The players sort of touched on it, how you guys want to, you know, be seen this season, but how much do you sort of stretch just this first weekend to set the tone for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I mean, it is important that way, but, you know, regardless of what phase of the year we're in, we got to be ourselves every time out. And so, yeah, we want to start that right from jump. And so, so this idea of pre-conference and identity and really what are we trying to be, it really is important. And we go through this with teams every season, but every team is different and new, and so you got to rebuild this every single season. And this is just where we're at. And so we're going to keep coming back to this theme for probably the next 13 matches. You know, are we working towards, whether we win or lose a match, whether we're at home or on the road, are we working towards being the team we really see ourselves as being?
I actually have a question. Okay, so last season with you playing conference first and then non-conference in the spring, what do you think, like, are you looking forward to kind of going back to normal with your preseason schedule, then your conference schedule?
Yeah, I mean, it is a big deal because you do get those road trips and you get to see other teams and other conferences, and you have a different way to measure yourself as opposed to just against the Big 12. And there is a lot to be said for having 13 matches to get ready for the start of conference instead of just jumping right in. And so, yeah, we would expect 4 weeks from now we're going to be a much different looking team than we will this weekend. But yeah, you need that time to grow and develop and see what you got.
Just speaking with some of the other teams on campus, obviously last season didn't create much opportunities for sort of, you know, team bonding and creating that camaraderie. How much better is it this year?
I think it's better. You know, we you know, we're trying to be careful and be smart and do some things, but yeah, this feels a lot more like what we're used to, and so yeah, I would expect we're going to find ways to do some team stuff while we're on the road instead of just being hotel only and so isolated.
Coach, going back to that scheduling question, it seems like the Big 12 kept the back-to-back again. I guess, was there a consensus by the coaches saying they kind of liked that, or was that just, I guess, a COVID thing? Or?
Well, it was more, you know, we did it for 1 year. Let's do it for the second year so that we get those matches flipped home and away and it's balanced. And then I think everybody's optimistic about moving back to traditional scheduling in 22.
Okay. Thank y'all.
Okay, thanks.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. So.